Well, once again, it is time for Weekend Wellbeing, and I'm delighted to welcome Karen Ferguson from the Maven Club once again.
Hi Nathan, how's your week been?
Not too bad, thank you. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good. I was just thinking about last week's focus of thinking about learning new skills, and wouldn't it be amazing if some of the listeners were to send you pictures of things that they're trying over the next few months of their new skill, and just to be able to like spur one another on and encourage each other. That would be really great just to see what people have been given a go.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, do let us send in your pictures. Hello at pure247radio.org. Send them in. Let us know. Maybe you've tried a new project, tried learning a new skill. Perhaps you have got some baked goods that you can actually show photographic evidence of. And perhaps actually going back a couple of weeks, maybe you've tried out a certain physical activity. Maybe you've taken up running or tried out some other kind of exercise related hobby. Let us know and send in your pictures. We'd love to see them. For this will be the fourth step of the NHS 5 steps to well-being. We looked at connecting with others, physical activity, and what was last week's learning new skills.
Learning skills.
What is
Yeah.
the fourth one then?
The fourth one is give to others. And I think the reason that I really particularly like this one is because if there are periods in our life or seasons we're going through where we are perhaps struggling more with our mental health and well-being, then there is something very helpful in sort of being able to look beyond ourselves, to being able to think of others and how we can give to others, because it takes the focus off of the things that are really quite problematic or that we're struggling with. And it gives our mind an opportunity to focus on other things, which is really healthy for us. Now, I don't say that lightly because I am not in any way belittling or taking away from the struggle and the dark places that we can find ourselves in when it's just really hard. But there is something in this skill, if you like, of being able to give to others that has been proven to help us in our mental health and well-being. And so that's got to be a good thing. And sometimes it's the motivator that actually helps us to get out of bed or get dressed when we're focusing on what it means to give to others. So on the website at the NHS 5 steps to mental well-being, it says research suggests that acts of kindness and giving can help improve your mental well-being by creating positive feelings and a sense of reward, giving you a feeling of purpose and self-worth. We're hearing that again and again, aren't we? And helping you connect with other people, like that first thing. It could be small acts of kindness towards other people, or larger ones like volunteering in your local community. And then they go on to give some examples of things you could try. It's as simple as saying thank you to someone for something that they've done for you. That's giving to others. That's an act of kindness. It might be asking friends, family, or colleagues how they are and actually really listening to their answer. Or it might be spending time with friends or relatives who just need a bit of support or company. You know, we are suffering from the worst time in history of loneliness being such a real factor for so many people. The value of giving a bit of time to someone else to help them feel connected and of value is incredibly generous as a gift of something that we can do. Or maybe offering to help someone you know with a DIY or a work project. And finally, it says volunteering in your community, such as helping at a school or a hospital or a care home. Now, I'm sure many of your listeners are amazing volunteers, used to giving to others. And so one of the things that we sometimes also need to take with caution about this particular aspect is to reflect on what we are doing and how we are giving so that we don't overstretch ourselves, because it's such a beautiful principle to give to others. But there is sometimes a danger that we end up just giving and giving and giving and giving, and we stop looking after ourselves. So it's very necessary for us to be balanced in this so that we're looking after our well-being, but to note that giving to others has a sense of reward attached to it. It is a real blessing to us. So when that isn't present when you're doing a lot and you're giving a lot and you're now starting to resent it, then you need to reflect and balance on what you're doing, because there is a sense of it should be quite, rewarding and edifying to be giving to others. Now, I love to encourage people, but I actually find rather selfishly that I hugely benefit from that. It does something when I can take time to encourage somebody else. It does something in me that I really like that feeling. And I think that, if you were to look into it in a slightly more scientific way, you would be able to evidence that it's been proven that giving to others will release endorphins, which can improve mood, it can lower stress, it can reduce pain, and it does enhance well-being. So there's something that is beneficial for us when we give to others that is really healthy for us, but it also then benefits society as a large. So my challenge this week is thinking about what simple act of kindness could you do this weekend? Now, you may remember when we first started this segment on the weekend wind down, I think the very first challenge was just asking people to think about who they could give their smile away to, who could they smile at, because a smile can be contagious, and you never quite know what's going on in people's lives. And sometimes that smile might be the difference between hope and hopelessness. So it may be that we just go back to that simple gesture of what would it mean to just have a weekend of smiling at people. But the challenge this weekend, very specifically, is what act of kindness could you do this weekend that is all based on giving to others?
That's a really, really powerful challenge for each one of us, giving to others. I mean, we're probably all very familiar with the phrase, it's more blessed to give than to receive. And of course, that is straight out of the Bible, isn't it? That's what Jesus said. And in a way, it might sound a bit of a cliche, but it is very true. And again, you say there's scientific evidence to support that. It is so true. And I know for myself, sometimes I can fall into the trap of thinking too much about what I need and what I want. But when you stop doing that and you start looking at actually, how can I help other people? It's amazing the difference that makes in your own life, not just to other people. It does make a huge difference in your own mentally and spiritually and physically, because again, you're not focusing so much on what your problems are. You're also
Yeah.
focusing on other people and benefits of giving to other people. It lifts your own spirits, if nothing else.
Absolutely. And at a really simplistic level, because I tend to work at that level, if you're unkind to somebody, it leaves you feeling horrid. If you're kind to somebody, it leaves you feeling good.
Yeah.
And so let's choose kindness, because it benefits us all, and it's such a nice feeling, or warm feeling, isn't it, when you've kind of gone out of your way to be kind to somebody else. So think about what simple thing you can do just to show that kindness, give to others, and receive yourself just from that sense of doing it.
Yeah, absolutely. That is a really good challenge for each one of us. And I'd love to hear how you've managed to perhaps find a way to give to others in a way you wouldn't usually, perhaps. Again, it could be a simple smile. That is such a powerful thing that we often overlook, but it is so powerful because, again, it could be the difference between somebody just they could go through an entire day, nobody smiled at them, people have been rude to them, mistreated them, and that little smile could be the difference that just lifts their entire day. It really could. So, yeah, thank you so much, Karen, once again. I look forward to speaking again soon.
Thank you. See you soon.
Pure Media, the magazine, is hand perfected with some of the finest writers from around the world that we could find. And yes, Andy B too. New editions are released just for you on the first Friday of every month, from our family to your family. Pure Media, the magazine, is available now. Sign up for free at puremediafamily.com/magazine.